Thanks for checking out In the News with your guy Frankie, where today we've got a special guest who's coming on our line to talk to us about his latest feature in the TV One Hollywood Unsung, premiering February 8th on TV One at 8 p.m. Today I've got a man who's worked with the likes of Mary J. Blige, Teddy Riley, and more, and you may know him from the 90's R&B sensation Blackstreet. Live on my line, I do have my guy, Dave Hollister. Dave, how are you today?
Thank you, Frankie, for having me.
Dave, it's our pleasure to have you here on the show. Now be real. When you heard that TV One wanted to do a feature on you with Unsung, what was your first reaction?
First of all, I think I had to pinch myself because it's something that I always wanted to do, and just to get the call from them. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I used to sit there and hate, like, man, why ain't call me? Why they ain't call me? And then the day they called, man, I like to fell out.
Now, of course, with today's new music, a lot of people say that's not that real R&B, and I don't want to get into debates about that. But when it comes to real R&B, real soul music, what is that to Dave Hollister?
It means if I can feel it, it means that when the words are sung or even when they're written, I feel it through my body, and whatever I write comes from the heart anyway. So you know how they say what comes from the heart reaches the heart. So I try to do music that means something, not stuff to just make radio.
Now, helping to tell your story, you have friends like Tank, Teddy Riley, Al B. Sure, and many more. What does real friendship mean to you?
Oh man, well, Tank is like a little brother to me. When they didn't really tell me that he did the show. I know they were reaching out to a lot of people, a lot of different people, but they never told me who was what outside of my family. So when I saw the first rough cut of it, it made me really happy about it. Those friendships, the people that I normally deal with, I'm a type of person that don't mess with everybody. So, when I have friends, when I call people my friends, that's exactly what they are, my friends.
Now, you can't mention friends without dealing with maybe enemies or even frenemies. And people being bitter and hateful is something that comes along with not just life, but, of course, the music industry. Now, speaking of that, there was no secret held that Chauncey Black of Blackstreet didn't get along with you. Talk to us about how you made it through that time in your life.
Well, I dealt with it. As much as I could, because I wasn't gonna let nobody mess up my money within the situation. And then, when I left, because nobody kicked me out, I left. I left because he was basically the cancer in the group, and if you think about it, every Blackstreet record there was a different member. There was somebody new, and all because they couldn't get along with Chauncey. Even to the point where he wouldn't the 6% of Before I Let Go that was gifted to him. He didn't even write the song. He had no time in the studio with us at all. He was gifted 6% of the song, so he decided that he would try to stop that, and not give permission for his 6% to use the song in the show. So, for me, again, that's just jealousy rearing its head, but I just keep moving. It is what it is. He can't stop what God got for me.
Now, I did get a chance to check out the Unsung feature on you, and there were some portions about when you rebelled against your father, who was a minister. But what I want to ask you is, what would Dave Hollister, the man today, tell Dave Hollister back in the day?
Ooh-wee. That's a good question. He would say, "Man, get your act together. Get it together." If I could see then what I see now and what I know now, it would be a whole different story. It would be, I would see the fact that my father being a pastor, my mother, they both are pastors. Well, they both still are pastors. If I could see back then, what they or listen to what they were saying, I would say, man, listen, they know what's going on, because what they're dealing with, what they were dealing with back then with me, I'm dealing with now with my 21-year-old son. So I could, I would change a lot. I probably walk straighter in my life than I did back then.
Now, of course, when you're singing on the stage, the lights are blaring, the music is bumping. People don't see what you may be going through behind the scenes. And your story is told about your chemical dependency and how you battle with alcohol and drug abuse. What would you say to somebody who might be watching now who might be feeling hopeless?
Oh wow, man, you can do it. You can do it. You can get past it. A lot of people in that situation, Frank, they they feel like there is no way out. Especially to the max that I was doing it at. And when I go around some of my friends that's still doing it, and they see me, they see that, like, how did you get out of it? And I was at the point that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know, and when you get to that point, that's when you start to do something different.
Of course, when you study music in the African American community, whether it was when we were out in the plantations singing along, sending messages, all the way through gospel music, people like Marvin Gaye saying what's going on. Music is a tool to fight the injustices in our country. And recently we have seen quite a bit of injustice in our country and people feeling like there might not be any hope as well. What would you say to those who are going through the struggle today, and how are you using yourself as a tool to get that word out?
Um, I would definitely say to people that we've been in this place before. As a people, as a black people, we've been here before. This is nothing new. What's going on with the police? What's going on with the racial the racial fighting back and forth is nothing new. We got through it before. We'll get through it again. It's just amplified now to the point, especially with the police, because we got cameras. So this is not new. When I was young and I was gang banging, they used to pick us up off the streets of Chicago and take us to what you call a forest preserve, which is a big, really really big park. At nighttime, they'll pick us up, take us in unmarked cars in that forest preserve, beat us up, and leave us there. We just didn't have no cameras back then, but now we do. So it seems much bigger than what it is, but it's really the same thing. It's just being caught on tape now.
Dave, we appreciate you taking time to come here on In the News with Frankie and Rochelle. Anytime you want to come through, feel free to stop in, bro.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Frank.
That was 90s R&B sensation Dave Hollister stopping by here on In the News to talk about his upcoming feature on TV One's Unsung, February 8th at 8 p.m. on TV One. If you want more information, of course, you can see the information there on the screen. And as for me, I'm gone, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.